Oh,
I
that was a week. It
ah
was certainly a week of football. I think it was probably the worst round of the NRL this
You wouldn't
season.
be far off.
It was just very nondescript.
The only good part of the round, we are the champions again.
The script dictated it. It had to happen.
Josh Papali'i is going to win the premiership.
It
He's going to
had to happen. Yes. Queensland, victorious over New South Wales, in New South Wales, in the decider.
A better half of
Yeah,
football you will probably not see
That
in that first half.
That first half was perfect. That is exactly what you want to see.
Well, to be fair, so was Perth. That was also perfect. Probably let it try it first.
True. Yeah.
But
that was
It
good.
was won this time by
Queensland dominated. There were. I know in the end New South Wales ran more meters and whatever else, but that actually didn't matter.
They didn't really have many opportunities to win that game, did
No.
they?
Queensland's scramble defence was excellent.
Yeah.
Some really good defensive plays by Robert Toya, by obviously Tom Dearden, the Wally Lewis medal winner.
Yeah, Tommy.
How good.
He had, as Fox Sports said, the perfect game of football.
It is the best game I have ever seen him play. He was
everywhere.
He was so good.
With his second try there, he was almost like first and one. He started on one side and moved his way across, and then he was ready to do the dummy and run. He was everywhere.
Maybe he is a halfback.
And the best part of it was his speech.
Oh, so funny.
I felt for him. He's probably thinking that don't F-bomb, don't F-bomb, don't F-bomb. And what does he do? F-bomb, and then follows it up with something else. And then he just walked off.
The best medal acceptance speech ever.
Yeah,
all his Queensland were just laughing their heads off. They thought it was so good.
Tom Dearden was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's impressive that he managed to do it with 2 games at halfback under his belt. I personally probably would have given it to Munster. But
Munster,
I
think Munster was the best in the second game, but I think Dearden's third game was just, you couldn't, you would have had a hard time overruling that particular decision based on his game.
Although, I feel like if you were going to go the actual best player of the series, it probably should have been Brian Toto.
Well, he was. Look, if New South Wales win, he gets the Wally Lewis medal. There's no doubt about this.
Fair.
It's very hard to give it to somebody. You can give man of the match awards, but not necessarily the man of the series if your team doesn't win.
I've always hated that. I've always hated the fact that how well your team performs dictates how revered your individual performance is. I've never liked that. Because there's been Jack Whiten who won the Churchill and losing team.
Daly Cherry-Evans did that as well, won the Flight of Churchill and a losing team.
But that's a hit.
Arguably, Anthony Milford possibly should have done it in the 2015 game.
I think they should have just given the Wally Lewis medal to Josh Papali'i for a lifetime achievement award.
That's not what that's about, but okay.
But yeah, it was just good. I was very, very impressed with Robert Toya. I was very impressed with him.
He had a really good game. You know who else had a really good game? Chimasaki. He kept Stephen Crichton, arguably the best centre in the game, quiet.
I will never doubt Billy's Placer ever again.
He knows what he's doing. I think you probably will. Actually, I agree with Caleb there. You will doubt him.
Yes, I will. I doubt everybody.
But
look,
there was some
defense was so good. So impressive.
And he ran hard, and he provided the pass to the first try and all that stuff.
I think because I was pretty angry about this when he got picked in game 1. I was very impressed with Trent Loiero in this game. He had excellent.
Well, his game 2 was good as well. So look, he did the job that he was there to do. He was a defensive wall, and that softened a bit up, and then Carrigan can come on and do whatever he does, right?
Yeah. So, It was a masterclass in rotations from Billy Slater in this game. Conversely, it was a complete disaster on Laurie Daly's end. I have no idea what his game plan was for this.
But it looked like a lot of the time they looked like they were disorganised.
Yeah.
They just didn't seem to have any answers to what Queensland
I feel like I can forgive the first half of this game for New South Wales because all the stuff that had happened in the lead up to this, Queensland were going to be the most energetic you have ever seen a football team ever. I can forgive the first half. The second half is unacceptable. There is no reason they should have been out enthused in the second half as well.
That's the thing, though. I mean, I think in the first half, all the stats were with Queensland.
Yes.
But it all evened up and even went
Towards
New South Wales in the second half, but they still weren't able to overcome the deficit.
Yeah. Queensland's goal line defence was just phenomenal.
I exemplify both. Toto scores that try 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
The one that did and stopped him on.
Billy, no, never mind. I'm talking of a different game. Never
Yeah.
mind. But yes, you are absolutely correct. Brian Toto scores that 99 times out of 100.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
And like Chris Conn said in the on the Fox Sports one, the little man wins that particular one, you know.
To be fair, I don't know who he's talking about there, because Toto's not a giant.
Toto is he's still bigger than Tommy.
Yeah, I think he's bigger.
Giants.
He's got massive legs.
Yeah,
Look, and
I mean,
look, he once again he ran 266 lazy meters, but he was second.
Dylan Edwards.
Dylan Edwards somehow.
Well, that's Edwards' game. He just runs through. He just runs.
he's a fool.
You know
What
what?
else is he going to
You
do?
know who else was really good for Queensland? Somebody that you probably don't want me to say. But Huddersfield was excellent. at
Yeah,
fullback.
it's the best I've seen him play in a fullback role in a while. His ball playing was really, really good.
And he put his body on the line.
I'm perfectly happy to eat my words.
Yeah.
Like, I'm perfectly happy to say that he was great, and they probably made the right decision putting him there instead of Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it, but I will take
I
it.
don't think Reece stops Angus Crichton the way Hammer did.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
So he did put his body on the line,
Yeah.
which was nice. And look, credit to New South Wales. They scored 2 tries in the second half. They outscored Queensland in the second half.
One of them was just a garbage time try.
Yeah, it was what was
The Brian Toto try was just me. That was just so people could hit their multis. That's all that was for.
20 seconds to go. I will score. Yeah, it didn't really matter. They were Queensland.
If they were playing schoolyard rules, they would have won. Last try always.
Last try wins. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't like hate me saying this, but I reckon the worst blue was probably Latrell Mitchell. He wasn't
I don't
bad.
know that he was the worst. Crichton didn't do anything.
Well,
He
he's
scored a try, but like it was a try based on the fact that all Queensland's defence was on one side of the field.
Yeah, none of it's like I feel like a lot of New South Wales was just a bit skittery in this game.
You know, a person I actually thought was worse, Jerome Luai. He had
He did
a
nothing.
shocker.
He did
He
nothing.
kicked out not out on the fullback, got caught in the in goal, 7 tackle sets, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
he did not have a good game.
he didn't have a good game. He was beaten for, side steps off people, beat him and all this sort of stuff. Dearden
Yes,
was right through him for the second try.
I'm completely expecting, if not next year, the year after, that actually probably will be next year. The Blues halves combo is going to be Mitch Moses and Isaiah Katoa. I
think
think
both halves are like halfbacks, though. I mean,
Katoa can play 5'8" very, very easily. I reckon. I think both of them could play 5'8". Mitch Moses plays
It's
5'8".
worked going the other way, I suppose, for Tom Dearden, right? He's gone from 6 to 7. So.
I think that will probably be. I don't see Luai or Cleary sniffing Origin if everybody is healthy anyway.
No.
No.
I think, look, as much as Cleary is a great club halfback, we know this, he's excellent.
He doesn't do anything in Origin.
In Origin, he's still struggling.
It's such a weird phenomenon, isn't it?
I don't know whether he puts too much pressure on himself. Maybe he does.
That's the thing, because you think, it's just because he's not clutch. He's won 4 grand finals in a row. He doesn't think he's not a clutch player.
In 2023, he was what? In 2023 grand final, he's one of the most clutch players in the game.
That's exactly my point. I don't know what's the difference between State of Origin and a grand final where you can perform at such varying degrees as being quite possibly the best halfback of the modern era.
And look, in 2023, Luai was still his 5'8" at that time too. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. And
So, good job, Zach. You get down to 6.
well done, Jack. Yay.
Yay.
In terms of,
Yeah.
we brought up a couple of performances from the Blues. I want to highlight Payne Haas because he's Payne Haas.
The only forward for New South Wales who ran over 100 metres,
That's pretty bad.
I think.
No, Isaiah Yeo did.
Okay.
Well, that's expected.
Yeah, there just wasn't much on New South Wales' part. They were just completely. out enthused.
They were.
They just didn't play with the amount of energy that Queensland were playing.
And let's face it, in the first half, when the other team makes 0 mistakes,
There's not much you can do.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They had no errors, and they made their first error at what 68th minute or something like that.
That's pretty good.
And they only made 2 all up in the whole game. So they completed it like 94%,
Yeah.
which is almost unheard of in a game of Origin football.
Especially in the decider.
Yeah,
It was very, very
it was
impressive.
it was controlled. That's the word I would use. Queensland, even though they were over enthusiastic, not over enthusiastic, they were more enthusiastic than New South Wales. They were controlled.
Yes, exactly. It was a very
They
mature
knew their game
performance.
plan and they stuck to it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Kick them into corners, keep them down in their half,
Mhm.
and it worked.
Yeah.
Right. So well done to Billy Slater, coaching masterclass there.
The question becomes what, because I think Laurie Daly has been confirmed
Yes.
going to be the coach of next year's Origin series.
What changes?
What do you think he has to learn from this?
Very early to be doing this, but probably the right time.
Well, I feel like obviously a lot of this is like injury,
Yeah.
withholding and all that.
Yeah.
But if
Queensland can field the same team,
what
there's no reason why they can't, apart from Papali'i, obviously, but
what do we think New South Wales were missing in this series is the question, I think.
polish.
You're probably right. I think it was Mitch Moses was probably the big thing that they were missing.
In game 1 with Mitch Moses, they looked so much better.
Yeah.
Queensland, to be fair, were beaten to the punch in game 1. And then
Yes,
that's all it
absolutely.
was. They only scored penalty try. Yeah, penalty try because of tackling.
Oh, no, that's right. It was
That was a thin bit.
Thin bit, sorry.
that night obliterating Latrell Mitchell.
That was so funny.
That's right.
That was a funny moment.
Yeah. I think Laurie Daly needs to work on his forwards, I think is the big thing, because there are a couple of people that you would think should have been like immediate ins. Like even if you ignore all the Terrell May stuff. I feel like Keon Kalamatangi fully deserved to be in this team. But I don't know. That's the big thing, I think, with both of these guys for a lot of the Origin was question marks around the forwards. Like for Queensland, why Corey Horsburgh wasn't in the team, I will never know. But that's the thing, no one will question it if you win.
Yeah.
It's as soon as you lose that people will start asking questions. So, yeah, for New South Wales, I think it's legitimately just a matter of picking healthy people or hoping that people are healthy.
Yeah.
Because it's Mitch Moses seems to be the key thing.
He seems to be the lucky charm, right? I mean,
It's Cooper Cronk for Queensland in the dynasty years.
yeah, well, see, he's got the boot, and it's, he can kick them out of trouble.
Yes, exactly.
Ruben Burton's not in the team, right? It's not picked anymore, I don't think.
Clifford 6. He has a big boot. He can
No, he hasn't got enough experience at.
I am curious to see who the halves partner is going to be for Tom Dearden in the coming years. Because
When Munster
retires, because I'm thinking like the only real young Queensland halfback that you could put in there is Sam Walker, but I don't know how well he would complement Tom Dearden.
You think they're too similar? Or?
I think they are too similar, or at the very least, I don't think Sam Walker's game would match Tom Dearden's game very well.
What up the Queensland halfback? Fogarty?
You put Jamal Fogarty, and even he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
like 30.
It's an interesting thing. We don't have to worry about it now because
He's only 30. He's got
a couple of years left in him.
to go,
So
yeah.
I guess we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, it's a good start.
Queenslander.
Yeah, well done. Always.
Yep, very good. Now the Raiders need to win the premiership. The script dictates it.
Yeah.
Someone had to fix his hair or do it.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
NRLW. There was one major blowout.
Yes. There were a couple, actually, because the Broncos beat the crap out of the Titans as well.
Oh, okay, but they didn't score
Oh, it's
50.
44.
No, they scored 44-4.
Oh,
Yeah.
4.
Yes, exactly. For the NRLW, the Bulldogs are 2 from 2 in their inaugural season,
Nice.
which is a good start for them. This time they were led by Alexis Tawanei. I think I pronounced that correctly. Played the entire game, scored a try, 20 runs for 215 metres, 5 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 34 tackles, only 2 misses. Great game from her. She was excellent. They sit
And then the Bulldogs winning their inaugural season.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be a good time for it. It's good signs for them. On the Tigers side, who were the ones beaten by the Dogs, Kezi Apps was great, but she always is.
Yeah.
And Sarah Togatuki was also really, really good in the middle of the field. She was great. But they still seem to struggle with the ball quite a bit. It's quite strange, especially with how good Lasana Lutu is. I don't know what is the missing piece in there, whatever the weak link is, but they probably need to figure it out soon. The Sharks destroyed the Raiders.
56 to 6, was
I think it was something like that.
It
was
wasn't
it?
pleasant.
Like 56 to 6.
It wasn't pleasant reading if you were a Raiders supporter.
And the ringleader of that one was fullback Emma Varan. 4 tries, 200 meters, 5 line breaks, 2 try assists, 8 tackle breaks. She was phenomenal.
If she was a fantasy person, she would have scored 400 points.
I think she scored 109 was the official total. I wish they were doing mixer this year. I don't know why they got rid of that. I don't think it's fun.
Do mixer. I want them to do NRLW fantasy as well.
Have like its own individual.
Yeah.
That would be okay.
I don't think they'll do that until the NRLW gets like really popular, which unfortunately I just don't think will ever happen.
It's stupid.
It is stupid. Georgia Hanaway also tied the NRLW record for most goals in a game with 8, so that's pretty good. So yeah, that was just a disaster. The Roosters handily beat the Dragons. Isabel Kelly was her usual self. She was probably the Roosters' best. And Tegan Berry was again the Dragons' best. She's such a good player. I love watching her play so much. She's very like Ryan Pappenhausen-esque, I think, is probably her best NRL comparison anyway. The Roosters sit in second. They're one of the premiership contenders. The Dragons are in fifth. They're fine. Yeah, they're always up there. The Warriors got their first ever win.
Nice.
Led by winger Michaela Breck. Now, this is a Brian Toto stat line if I've ever seen it. 1 try, 16 runs for 243 meters, 2 line breaks, and 16 tackle breaks.
Wow.
Just absurd numbers. But I think the big thing for the Warriors was their defense in this game because they held
the Eels to
it was the
nil.
Eels to nil.
Yeah, 14-0.
That's excellent, especially coming off how many points they conceded against the Roosters last week. That's a
Yeah.
great.
They had a slow start last week. It's good to see them come back with a
Yeah.
win.
Brisbane flogged the Titans. Big name. He was probably Bree Spreadborough. She was great.
Big name too.
150 meters, 3 line breaks, 13 tackle breaks, 35 tackles, no misses.
That's pretty
excellent.
Yeah.
And Shalom Soasu is awesome. I'm so happy I'm right about her. She played 39 minutes off the bench, 126 meters, 11 tackle breaks. Very, very, very strong. She was
Maybe fix up her defense a little bit. 19-3.
19-3 is
high.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know,
I still get there.
I'm willing to take that with 11 tackle breaks. I'm willing to take that. Yeah, the Titans missed 43 tackles in this game. That's not good enough, especially against Brisbane, who are the premiership favourites right now.
You don't think Cronulla should be the premiership favourite?
Sorry, I said this last week. Tanika Upton makes Brisbane the best team in the competition by a distance, I think. It's going to be them and the Roosters, I think.
Okay.
And now we move on to the Cowboys game from the NRLW.
This one had much to talk about.
Yeah, this one was they were a completely different team to last week in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
There was so much less energy in attack. The defense was really, really weak, especially in the middle of the field. They just got bulldozed.
They did. Well, maybe they thought they could do the same thing they did against the Gold Coast. I mean, yeah, the Gold Coast.
Yeah, that was never good.
But the Knights are not the same team as the Gold Coast. So, look.
Little weird try.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great game but it was a good game for the Knights. They actually played their game plan very, very well.
Really, really mature performance from them, led by the incredible Jessie Southwell. Man, she is good.
And she kicked sideline conversions as well, just for fun. Yeah.
She's a great player. Other standout performance here for the Knights, I think, was Yasmin Clydesdale.
Yeah, obviously.
That's just how she
raining down the medalist.
Really, really good. Taylor Predabon was also really good. Their starting prop. I thought she made lots and lots of inroads when she was on the field, and that's exemplified by I think that Newcastle had 200 more post-contact meters than the Cowboys did. It was just
they beat them all over the park. It's
exactly.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any stats of the Cowboys won.
I think also the return of Olivia Higgins was really big for them. Representative number 9, having her back gives them such good staunch in the middle of the field, and their attack looked really, really slick.
I thought
They looked really good.
Cowboys' best was probably Yarrow. I think
Julian Yarrow was probably
she ran pretty hard and she did her best in the middle.
Yeah,
you know,
outside that, it's
relatively supported by Mackenzie Wheel, who made one unfortunate glaring error, but apart from that, she was relatively steady.
I think watching this game and watching the Cowboys in the Newcastle red zone has quickly made me realize Jakaya Whitfield thinks she has to do everything. He almost seems like the Kalen Ponga type, where people will quite possibly start calling her a ball hog if she doesn't start passing the ball to her centers more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Abby Roach never touched the ball when they headed to the left. It was really, really strange attack.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can go back to the drawing board and say, look what worked for the Titans, look what didn't work for the Knights, and let's fix that up.
They need to. Their defense is the big thing. The middle defense needs to be fixed.
Yeah, because in the first game they actually were very
They
good.
nailed it.
Yeah.
They absolutely nailed the middle defense against the Titans. For some reason, their technique and their energy was completely different against Newcastle. I don't get it.
We should start every game with a knock on.
Yeah, well,
Who's the coach? It's Ricky Henry, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of work to do. So I guess we will see if they can turn that around. Yet somehow it wasn't the most painful watch on that day.
No.
We will get to that one. Now the men. Starting with Sharks Dolphins. This game was meh. It wasn't particularly interesting per se. It was the Dolphins are very injury affected and very origin affected in this game. And they put up a fairly decent fight towards the back half of this game solely through one Herbert Fun the third. I don't know if he's the third.
Probably not.
I'm calling him that. Yeah, he was the sole reason the Dolphins were in this game in the second half.
He tried to drag them kicking and screaming into the game. He was excellent.
He scored a try, which was off a forward pass, but we can ignore that one because everyone ignores forward passes now. 250 plus meters, 7 tackle breaks, 5 offloads, just absurd numbers. He's probably the best center in the competition. I would say.
Him and Crichton probably. Yeah.
They're so good. I'm also very happy to see Jeremy Marshall King back and playing quite well. I love watching Jeremy Marshall King play. He's great.
He was good.
Losing Finifuyaki for a month plus hurts. So that's going to dampen their forward stocks even further.
What exactly happened?
He broke his thumb.
Oh,
so that's not
the major part of your hand. So
look, when I was talking about this game last week, I was thinking the problem is going to be the forwards. And that's exactly what happened.
Well,
they couldn't make any inroads against the Sharks forward pack.
The Sharks forward pack is a scary forward pack. I mean,
exactly.
He had a very good game.
I thought he was quiet, to be really honest.
He was still very strong. Quiet for Fanua Blake is big for a lot of other forwards.
I think he got 130 metres or something.
Yeah.
I think his grandmother passed away in the lead up to this game, so I'm not going to hold that. I'm not mad at Fanua Blake because I think the slack was mostly taken up by Britt Nickera. I thought he was great in this game.
He's been a very good player, for the Sharks this year. He's very good.
Yeah, I feel like his work rate had been a little bit down.
Yes, I agree.
His form seems to be aligned with the Sharks' form. If they're going good, he's excellent. If they're going bad, he's mediocre. He was great in this game. But
Nico Hines was the best player on the park.
Oh, by a long shot.
And I'm not a Nico Hines fan because, he's a bit of a dork at times. But he was very, very good in this game. He's another guy who will never do Origin.
No, not after how. I feel like that first game where they used him as a centre for 10 minutes really, really screwed with him. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. No, he was good. His kicking game was pretty good, apart from one that was out.
His movement off the ball was also really good. You watch him moving around and converting the defense all the time. It was a really, really good halfback performance from him.
Blake Brayley, as normal, does Blake Brayley things.
He's probably going to be Hooker of the Year. He has been excellent this season.
There's anybody who'd be ahead of him.
No, who else was there? Because Harry Grant's had a quiet year.
Yeah.
Reece Robson.
Reece Robson
He's
has
been quiet.
great.
Yeah, he's
He's
been
started the
average.
year really poorly.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really see anyone in front of him right now.
No, I'd say you're correct.
Unless you want to put Mitch Kenny there.
Or
Or
his
something.
brother, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
James.
Unfortunately, he keeps coming off the bench.
And he's,
Yeah.
and he's at
Will
the
Kennedy is still doing his job.
And
Look,
Yeah, I know you don't like Will Kennedy very much.
I think he's fine. I think he's okay. Look, you can definitely have better people, but for the Sharks, he does a job.
It's like, I think he's got a similar
He's like
thing
Glenn
with
Edwards
Connor Tracy.
or Connor Tracy. Yeah, that's probably fair. They've won 9 games. They're in 9th, but they've got one more win than the 3 teams directly above them, so they're really in 6th. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see how they go. The battle for 5th or the battle from 6th to 8th is going to be really, really interesting because there's a lot of teams on a very similar number of wins.
Well, the back 4th is pretty good as well.
Yeah, well, that's between 2 teams. This is between like 5.
It's between the Waz and Penrith probably.
A lot of Brisbane. You've got Penrith.
Penrith are 2 more games further back.
Yeah,
So,
you've got Penrith, Cronulla, the Dolphins, the Roosters, and the Sea Eagles all in this like log jam. No,
the Dragons are ahead of the Cowboys. So
yeah, exactly. So it's just I'm intrigued to see how both these teams go. The Finns can definitely make a push if they can not lose any more people to injury because it's getting quite concerning now.
Yeah, and that's like what happens south, right?
Exactly.
If you don't have the cattle, you're not going to do anything. That's the thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the Sharks are maybe the only team outside Brisbane and Penrith that could try and push into the top 4 over the Warriors. I'm intrigued to see
That was okay. I still think that's a hard sell. I think Penrith is still even going to struggle to do that. So
you're
Cronulla
probably
will
right.
Yeah,
But I guess we'll get into it.
Yeah,
later on, Warriors, I suppose.
yeah.
But yeah, that was a game that happened, and this was also a game that happened that I'm certain nobody watched. Because the Knights played the Storm and lost. What a surprise! Yeah, this was boring. Look, Newcastle came out with a bit of energy to start with. I thought they took it to Melbourne early, but they just ran out. The second half was only ever going to go one way in this game, I think, because they were leading at halftime. I think, weren't they? I can't remember. They're either leading or like only down by 2.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they were leading by 2. It was 8-6 at halftime to Newcastle. So that tells you how the second half of this game went, which is not well.
24-6.
No, there's nothing against Braden Best though. I thought he was great in this game. He always is. I love him so much. He's such a good player.
He's a very strong player.
He's so good for that edge defense. I feel like he's such a big body. And, his running, he ran 7 times for 205 meters and broke 10 tackles. So that's all you need to know about him there. So he's great. Dane Gagai is interesting. He seems to be the fullback option for the rest of the season with Ponga and Sharp out. And he played fairly well, I thought.
250 meters is a good run.
Yeah, he did okay. He's a little bit uninspiring. He's like I said before, he's kind of like when Jordan Rapiner was playing fullback for the Raiders.
He's steady but nothing amazing.
Exactly. He's interesting. And KPP is still a machine. Kaipi's ball's so good. 3 offloads, 48 tackles with only 3 misses. I think he ran 90 meters or something. He's good. The Tigers have a good one for next year for him, so that'll be good. That was awesome.
He tried to emulate
the one in the last thing. He did.
It wasn't quite as good as Mark's, but it was still good.
You said the kicking.
Yeah, he picks it up and scores like this far in from the touchline.
Yeah, it was excellent. It's just
he had his best game in the Knights colours since going back there, obviously.
Well, like 3 games.
Yeah, I know.
I think the big thing out of this game for them, though, was the loss of Dylan Lucas, who's been one of their most consistently good players the whole season. I think it's a Lisfranc injury, which at this point in the season is season-ending. So that's
love Lisfranc.
That sucks, man. I love him. I think he's great.
He's been very, very good. He's probably day in, day out has been their best player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. This game was kind of what Newcastle are. They still have offensive issues, but they weren't overtly terrible. They just got outplayed by Melbourne.
Yeah.
They are a better team.
Well, obviously. I mean, they're sitting in second. And
now, I think for Newcastle, the season's done. And now you've got whispers of Adam O'Brien being gone at the end of the year, Kalen Ponga possibly being gone at the end of the year.
their team is going to fall through the floor in 2027. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm very, very concerned.
Yeah.
They need.
I mean, they're not going to be dropped out of any competition because Newcastle is a very strong.
Oh, there's going to be people showing up to Newcastle games. They have the best fan base in the league. They're so good.
The Lions do. I don't care what
Yeah.
you say. The
And
Warriors.
Melbourne are going fine. They're in second place.
They keep finding first. They keep finding ways to win. They refuse to be overly convincing, though, and that concerns me a little bit.
And they're just working their way at the right time.
This is kind of how they've been the entire year. They win a game uber convincingly, and then play meh for a few weeks, then lose surprisingly, and then just keep that cycle going. We're in the winning mildly portion. Some point in the back end of the year, they're going to lose to a team and really kick into gear for finals. It's just a matter of when that happens. I'm
Probably
very
when they rest all their players.
You might play the Dragons.
yeah. It depends on how much Craig cares about the minor premiership, which I don't think he does all that much.
If he's top two, he won't care.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll be fine.
Well, you might be worried about that though, because you hate Melbourne.
Hey,
And
yeah.
And also, the Knights are the home of the Liz Frank injury.
Apparently, yes. For Melbourne,
Who Frank is.
All
Or
these
Liz and Frank. Yeah.
it's hard to go past Eli Katoa in this game.
No.
Man, he is putting together one of the great seasons.
You know what? That last name seems to be
Superpowers.
a magnet for good football.
Yeah.
Like there's this
Then
LC.
the Kafusis and the Hopperwadis seem to be.
And the Trebojeviches for some reason.
Yeah.
Only one of those, really.
Oh,
but-
Jake has been strong for his
Jake, because Tom is not good
But yeah,
anymore.
Eli Katoa was so good in this game.
Mm.
2 tries, 13 runs for 180 meters, 35 tackles with only 3 misses.
That's right.
Very, very strong.
They tried with just no one was there.
That was amazing.
Have the best second rowers in the competition.
It's not even
Sean Bloor is excellent.
Man, he's good, isn't he? Sean Bloor is so good.
Annoyingly good.
They've gone some of the best signings of all time. Like this Eli Katoa one is going to go down as one of the best.
Yeah.
And Sean Bloor being on the outer Tigers, they're supposed to pick him up. He's been super strong for them.
Excellent.
Nick Meaney. Why is he good again?
Because he's playing at Melbourne.
Yeah, I suppose. He's a stopgap at fullback while Pax is getting healthy, and he's still playing excellently.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. You know, I mean, he was. What was his team before that?
The Dogs.
The Dogs,
He
yeah.
started at Newcastle, if I remember correctly.
But I'm so happy for him because he had a couple of down seasons, but
I
he's
know.
really kicking in.
I like that.
He's found his niche there.
In terms of other people, Loyero backing up off Origin was also really good in this game. Scored a double, which never happens.
Trent.
Good Trent Loyero.
Hey,
Jerome Hughes. It's all the usual suspects to Melbourne. Like always.
Trent Loyero.
Well, he's just been solid the whole year.
He scored 2 tries this game.
Harry Grant back up.
No, Harry Grant didn't. Oh, no, yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
He only played 60 minutes.
Munster was obviously on.
Yeah.
No complaints there.
Only played
Patch
60
to
minutes.
leave, which is fine.
Only played 60
After
minutes.
playing full 1 year after the full
Let's
Origin.
see Jack Howard back. I like watching him play.
Anderson's a good player.
He's a very strong player.
Anderson's also a very good player.
He's been so good.
Yeah.
I think I talked about him like a few weeks ago as one of the more important people that's played this year.
Melbourne, they just unearth people and or develop them to a point that they're excellent.
Yeah. Like, I think before 2 years ago, if you told me, like, Grant Anderson was one of Melbourne's best outside backs, I'd be, what's a Grant Anderson? But now he's been...
The wife's name.
Yeah, he's been excellent.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate that Melbourne keep doing this. I hate it so much, but I have to admire them for
I have
it.
to say that the Penrith curse has not kicked in for them this year.
No. Well, they're not in first, so they've technically gotten worse.
Did they come from?
Yeah, they got the minor premiership last year.
Yeah, well, the year's not over yet.
No, that's true. They need to catch 3 games on Canberra.
Yeah, Canberra, very well.
Yeah,
They've
Canberra.
almost locked up the minor premiership now.
So, yeah,
And
that was that game fairly
Golden
nice.
Chooks.
This was an entertaining, if low quality, game of football. I think it was just because the Roosters are the better squad with the higher attacking upside right now. It's just how it goes. They completed at 78%, had 14 more tackle busts. They made 2 more meters per set. It's just, yeah. And even they won with losing the returning Sam Walker to the sin bin. What a way to come back.
And then he came back to the field.
Was it a professional? I think it must have been a professional foul, right?
No, I think it was a dangerous tackle.
Oh, wow. He had to jump in the air 5 meters to hit somebody. Not big.
It was just they didn't concede a try while he was off the field either. I was quite impressed with that from the Roosters. It's just a good team performance. Tedesco, Tupou, White, Angus, Fakesi, Lenu, Watson, they're all great. Hugo Savala, I think, is going to be missing a couple of weeks with a wrist injury now. Which sucks for them. But you
have to put Sandy Smith in there, you'll be right.
I wrote this before the team lists came out, so that's inaccurate, but we'll get that. We'll get that when we get there. The Roosters stay in the hunt for the 8.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do. That's all they need to do.
My 6th is still looking.
Yours is looking the most accurate for that.
Mine's a little bit. No.
Mine's still technically possible. It would require a bit of a fall off, but it's still technically possible.
I'm the least likely.
They're not getting second. There's no chance.
And for the Dragons, it's
I don't think
the Dragons. It's
just more of the same.
Start preparing for next year, Dragons.
I hate this team so much. They should be so much better than
absolutely.
Look, they started okay in this game. They went try for try with the Roosters, which is pretty impressive for how good that squad is.
Yeah.
But between the 20th and 60th minute, they just did nothing. It was just nothing going, and that is when Sam Walker was off the field. They couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Just not good. And then they nearly stole at the end. So it's just, this is such a frustrating team. It's so frustrating. Not because of Jaden Sulu.
He's excellent.
I thought he was great.
He's still on the outside. Wasn't outside the back.
The edge forwards. Yeah. He's been a bit quiet this year, but he's been injured quite a bit. No.
200 metres of running is good. That's impressive.
Just they needed him to play well with more injuries to more forwards. Hamish Stewart got hurt again, and Wailua, I think, got hurt again as well. So it's just, that's been their season. Jack DeBellin was also really strong. Heading to the Eels next year.
I heard.
He's a bit of a journeyman.
Weird signing for them, isn't it?
He's bad.
They can still play out on that team.
Yeah, he can play out. He can play out forward.
Look at Marvel's going to go. Junior?
I think he's still going to be there for a couple of years.
Front row. Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
But yeah,
Still going to play.
It's just the Dragons, man. They're just what they are.
Yeah. They're probably the most mediocre team.
Holmes did back up, I think. He had an okay game as well, if I remember correctly.
They're probably the most, they live up to their standards team.
Well, they're 11th at the moment. So
you have to wonder,
where we expect
with how frequently their attack stalls out in the middle of games, you have to wonder when something has to change in the spine. Nothing will, because it's Shane Flanagan. But I don't get what he is seeing.
Lucky Ilias back in there. Do something, because if nothing changes, guess what? Nothing changes.
Yeah. So they're just that's the Dragons. Bleh. Yeah. It's the dry wretch of NRL. That's all it is.
They're the most, predicted to be there. They're the most predicted to be 11th I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're just so middling.
They're
middling.
They're the most mediocre team.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Another team that's being very mediocre at the moment.
Mediocrity!
This segment is becoming one of Todd Payton's press conferences. It is just the same stuff, different week. But nothing's going to change because it never does. This team impresses me with the amount of ways it finds to lose games. Yeah, we were at this game. I wish I wasn't, because this was painful.
Bulldogs weren't even that good.
Bulldogs was
To say something good, I thought their effort in defence was stellar.
Yeah.
I thought they were very good on their own goal line. I thought their hits in defence were excellent. They won contact quite a bit. They just clocked
less tackles than the Bulldogs.
They missed a third of the tackles that the Dogs missed. They just clocked off for 5 minutes, and that lost them the game. Yeah, I'll let you rant for a bit. Hold on.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
The 5 minutes that we're talking about, where the Jethro, was it, who scored in the corner? They shouldn't have even had the ball at that point. Brayden Burns gets smacked in the face by Josh Curran.
I wouldn't call it.
Not a penalty, and he gets sent off right there.
He was hit in the head.
Yes.
And there was no
That thing that's
penalty.
above your neck.
There was
he
no
was-
penalty.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I'm talking. Shush. So 2 minutes of the tackle, Josh Curran comes in. Well, it was one of the tackle. Josh Curran comes in. A bit of a stiff arm to the side of his face, maybe part of his nose as well. But he was grabbing his jaw and he sort of got up. He was doing all these sorts of things when he was sitting on the ground. To try and buy a penalty. Didn't get one. 2 minutes later,
Jethro scores.
yeah, and then he gets sent off for an HIA, which makes it that much worse.
I think him going off for an HIA was a function of him staying down to get the penalty.
Yeah, but remember, the independent doctor has to look at the footage.
Yes.
So he would have seen that he actually did get hit.
Yes, and I looked into this. So the bunker can only intervene on high contact like that in general play if it is a reportable offence. So obviously they determined that the amount of contact that was made was not worthy of being put on report, which, to their credit, is probably fair.
But it was the fact that it put him off for an HIA.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of overrides that a little bit.
But I like I said, I do think that's because he stayed down to get the penalty, because that is how that has worked for the majority of this season.
Yeah. So I'm just saying,
I'm not saying it's the correct call by any means, but I'm saying from when you made the wrong call, they did everything right.
I've seen less high tackles be called.
Yes, absolutely.
And yet that wasn't called for that one.
Yeah.
White Raymond was a terrible referee.
He was a terrible referee.
He was awful for both teams, to be
There were
fair.
so many missed calls both ways.
Both ways were bad. But like I said, if that was called a penalty, the Cowboys kicked the touch and they're attacking the Bulldogs line for the last minute of the game.
More importantly, the Bulldogs don't have
They don't have the ball, which is what they ended up scoring because of it, right?
Penalty try.
However, I will
We
say,
haven't got there yet.
I will say on that the Jethro Karma play that ended up scoring, I have no idea what Zach Labour was doing. I don't know what he was doing, but he left that gap wide open.
And saying that, there was still a little bit of doubt over the pass to Jethro as well.
Yeah, look, that was marginal. I have no issue with it. I think it was okay.
But if you look at it, his hands were actually facing forward, not back when he let the ball go.
Yeah.
That's generally a pretty good indicator of whether it was for a part. And the other thing was both Andrew Voss and Michael Ennis said you shouldn't, if your Cowboys fans don't look too closely at this particular pass.
This is really interesting because I think I've talked about this multiple times, and I heard the bloke in a bar boys talking about this, how multiple of the calls that went against both teams in this were not really talked about during the live commentary. And now both I and Den and Kemp have hypothesized that that memo that all the coaches got sent in the off-season about not criticizing the referees and such, I think it got sent to all of the media people as well.
Well, then it'll let up.
Because 2 years ago, they would be all over the stuff that happened in this game, especially like the drink world one.
Yeah, which
that one was more blatant.
It was.
He hit him in the face.
He hit him in the face.
He hit him in the face. He hit him.
He was scoring a try, or nearly scoring a try.
So the worst thing out of that, it should have been a sin bit.
At least a sin.
It should have been a penalty
He hit
try.
it pretty hard. But then you read all the comments by all the Bulldogs supporters. Oh, his face hitting the ground is what hurt. No, he was hit quite hard in the chin by a guy who weighs 30 kilos more than him.
I want you to cop nearly like this guy swinging his arm to knock the ball out of your hands and hitting you in the head. See how well you get up from that. It is quite frustrating.
It was the frustrating part. And look, I understand that the bunker came out and said, oh, there was no major contact or anything like that. But I thought any contact to the head is illegal. Unless it's bounced particularly off the shoulder or off the ball, which it didn't do. Because the ball was in the other hand, and his arm came across this side of his face, trying to chop at the ball, and it's hit him just before he hits the ball, or simultaneous.
I have an idea about this. So, in that situation, everyone on the field, everyone in the crowd is thinking, okay, this must be a penalty try. So I think what happens is that the bunker looks at it through the lens of should we give this a penalty try? And if they determine that they're not going to give it a penalty try, they don't do anything about it. I'm not saying that's the correct thing to do by any means, but I'm saying that is probably what happened here.
But while that could have won the game, because remember, they lost by 4.
They lost by 4 points.
That would have been 6 points comfortably, even if it wasn't a penalty try. Scott Drinkwater kicks that goal pretty easily.
Yeah, it wasn't that far over.
No.
Right.
The one that was the most frustrating was actually Murray Fellaini stuffing up.
That's the one that annoyed me most of the bomb tries in this game.
Because that was one they should have scored.
Absolutely.
It was unfortunate. What's happened is he's gone down. There was a hand from a defender that did bump it, which is going to happen in a tackle. He did catch it before it hit the ground, so it wasn't a knock on. But unfortunately, that stopped him from being able to just keep the ball in the air and go over the line. But even then, it was like tackle 3 or something. Hold it, get up, play the ball, give it to somebody.
Yeah, I think they would have scored in that set because that was a really good set opening.
Yeah, and look, it was frustrating to watch. And look, I get it. There were bad calls for the Dogs as well. There was a ball that was obviously kicked out on the full by Drinkwater.
A couple of missed knock-ons as well.
Yeah.
There were a couple of high tackles that definitely weren't called.
Yeah,
in front of us.
There was both ways for high tackles, unfortunately. Yeah. It was a poorly officiated game of football, which didn't allow either team to really get any momentum at all. The other thing was Cowboys' handling was woeful.
Yeah, that's why that specific thing is the reason I don't fully blame the refs for the Cowboys losing.
Oh, no. Look, it's not all the refs' fault. Yeah. There's a couple of things in there that was going the Cowboys' way that didn't.
That is completely fair. So I agree with that.
Because the Bulldogs weren't great by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all. They were pretty mediocre.
I mean, when your team misses a record 62 tackles in a game, you should not win.
No.
There is very few universes where that's a winning stat.
You might think I'm insane for this, but I feel like the Cowboys were probably the better team.
No, completing at 65% tells me all I need to know about how good the Cowboys were in this game.
I think if you put all stats together, the Cowboys were probably the better team. You get rid of the 65%.
Just the main thing.
Which is the main thing, unfortunately. I think the Dogs had the higher possession.
Cowboys also ran way worse.
Well, that's a function of having a smaller side, I think, which doesn't help.
I feel like the Bulldogs pack is huge.
Really have a kick out.
Kick out was big, yes.
And look, even though Taylor did stuff that up, he was Cowboys' biggest meter eater. He ran 250 meters, in centre, not playing it at his normal position either. So he was good like that.
Yeah,
I thought Tom Hughes was okay. He was okay until he got off the FIA. It was fine.
Why Muzz was named 5'8"?
It's funny, wasn't it?
That was because Clifford got injured and they needed to put somebody in.
I would have preferred he play 5'8", because I am sick and tired of seeing Jackson Purdue's lanky frickin' face in that number 6 jersey every single week. He's been 2/3 of the games that he has started at 5'8", the Cowboys have failed to crack double digits.
But did he play 5'8" this game?
Yes, he did. Because Clifford got ruled out, remember?
Ruled out with,
So, yeah.
And Duffy was injured as well, so they couldn't even bring Duffy in.
If that does not tell you...
I would prefer Burns there, to be honest.
If that does not tell you that Jackson Purdue is bad for this football team,
look, he's bad in the halves. I think...
But even in the centres against Melbourne last week, he did next to nothing.
I think that's because he's been playing in the halves. I think the problem is that Todd has mucked with this roster, and that has stuffed everything up. They were going well enough to probably make finals with the team that they had.
Yeah.
Then he decides, we're going to shove Purdue in at 6 and get rid of Clifford altogether, which is the dumbest move ever.
So it reeks, like I know the player agent was also a big thing, but it reeks of corporate meddling. There was something in the executive branch that went awry that forced Jackson Purdue to play in the halves. And
look, I also think there was a couple of things. I think the manager. I also think
is his manager.
It's Sam Ayub who was Thurston's manager and stuff. I think what happened was also Todd was tapped on the shoulder by Queensland to make him a 7, which meant they had to put somebody at 6. But Clifford is still a better 6 than Purdue is. This is the thing.
Yeah. I have no issue of moving Dean to 7 if you're forced to do that, sure. But doing it because you're trying to force Jackson Purdue into this team, in the space of the 5, is asinine.
No.
Because now you're making the representative 5'8" and now series winning Origin halfback Tom Dearden not the most important person on the team. I don't know how you justify that.
To me, it kind of smacks a little bit of Lockie Galvin and Tigers and the Bulldogs.
It definitely feels like that. It's very, very Bulldog.
Purdue is like almost a cancer. Maybe we need to cut him out.
I think the difference is that this Purdue stuff isn't of Purdue's making.
No, it's probably his manager, and
I think the Galvin one is more credited to Galvin than the Purdue stuff should be credited to Purdue.
Well, don't worry, when Billy Violin gets back, he'll be put 6 again.
I have no idea how this...
I hope not. Look, Clifford needs to be at 6.
Drop Purdue!
But he got
He's
injured.
ruining the team!
Oh, no, and he's not.
the issue.
Yeah.
He's fit to play next
No, he's not.
Just frustrating.
So, I mean, I know quad injuries can be a little bit... How's your mother? You don't really know how long they're going to take to heal.
My biggest gripe about this Cowboys team from this game specifically is how Jeremiah Nanai did precisely nothing. He played 5 minutes in Origin. There is no reason he should be tired at all. Why did he do nothing? That's the Jeremiah Nanai that got dropped. That's the Jeremiah Nanai that got dropped.
He made it drop again.
And this Todd Payton's talked about this a lot this season, how it's the same people making the same mistakes. He's put so many of them on notice. That's been like 2 months. There has been very little squad change. Like outside injury necessitated changes. Who got dropped based on form? Nanai was at the beginning of the year. Outside that, there's nobody.
No, all I can think of.
I mean, he justified the Cliff. He only played because Tiny was an Origin, if I remember correctly. So it's just, I don't get it. I really don't understand what. I think something's happened to Todd Payton in the past couple of years, because you remember when he first came in, he was no holds barred. If someone was underperforming, he called them out by name. He did that with Taumalolo the minute he came in, and that's heated off now.
I'm actually starting to agree, unfortunately, with some people, which means that I should probably go later. Is that Todd's got favourites?
Absolutely, he does.
And he's not going to drop his favourites. Purdue is one of them.
Clifford is obviously not one of them.
Clifford is obviously one of his mortal enemies or something, because...
When are you coming back? I think we need you.
I think they might put him on ice for the rest of the year. I don't see Taumalolo.
They're not making finals.
They're going to for the next couple of weeks. I don't see Taumalolo playing again.
There's no real need. If they jag 3 or 4 wins in the next month, he might come back.
Harrison Edwards is one of Todd's favourites. That's the most unjustifiable.
Carl Lawton.
How is Carl Lawton in the team?
I don't know. Like, you have a perfectly suitable utility who played really well against Melbourne.
He was excellent.
Carl Lawton still has not won a game while playing minutes for the Cowboys.
Put Temple back in.
Temple left
Please.
so good.
Please.
I don't know, man. He also, it was a weird thing. Like, they scored 20 points against Melbourne, which is somewhat of an achievement.
Yeah.
But he switched all the sides around. He moved Nanai back to the right side, Dearden switched sides as well, and they scored 8 points.
Yeah.
I don't, like, he feels like he's changing stuff for the sake of changing it. He's doing the exact, like, if you do the, if nothing changes, nothing changes. He's gone the full opposite and saying, change everything.
They scored 20 against Melbourne. They get the Talangi try. They get the Drinkwater try. That's 20 points.
Yes.
So they were
completion.
They were 15th away from actually still getting that, literally. It's a game of inches.
Yeah, if he comes out the back of the season still coaching here, I will be shocked.
Yeah,
I will be shocked.
I think there's a lot of pressure on him at the moment.
I think that it's interesting, like, the big thing now for coaching pressure is that it's Peyton, O'Brien, and Hasler are the big ones. Whoever gets fired first, I think that team's probably going to get Josh Hannay. Past that, I don't know.
Dimitri or
Thurston.
No, he's a good assistant coach. He won't make a good head coach.
Look, in terms of good performances, because we're saying a lot of bad about the Cowboys here.
Yeah, well, after his origin performance,
there is no amount of sadness I can feel that would match how bad I feel for Tom Dearden that he has to play for this team. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Look,
send him to a team that will appreciate.
And this is like case in point. After the first try from the Bulldogs, the kick through and whatever,
he was absolutely
he was
blowing up.
ropeable. He was yelling at his team, which you don't see Tom do very often at all.
Mm-hmm.
He was really pissed, and he had every right to be really pissed.
Absolutely,
because they really let in a fairly soft try there.
Yeah, they defended so well for 35 minutes. It's just frustrating. Griffin Neame churned out 70 minutes. He was okay. He let his handling problems show up a little bit, which is frustrating. But I thought
Rower doesn't need to be dropping balls being hit.
People are going to be calling for Griffin Neame to be dropped. I don't get why, because now with McLean out, with McIntyre out, with Taumalolo still out, I don't see anybody in this team that could churn out the 70 minutes that Neame put out in this game. I just don't see anybody in the team doing that. Tom McHaley was good.
He was excellent.
He was great for the 26 minutes he was on the field. Can we play him for, I think, 30 to 35 is what his ideal should be.
1.5, I reckon.
Yeah, well, you should play between 30 and 40 minutes, I think, is the right amount of Tom McHaley. But it's just...
And it's true, he's fit enough to do it. He can do this.
He would have dropped off the field when you took him off.
He always does. He shows himself to be in shape. He's fine. He can play a few extra minutes. Let him go.
This is the thing. Like, last year, when he was, in my opinion, justifiably being left out, because he played 15 minutes and looked gassed. He's playing 30 minutes since and coming off the field looking fine now. He has the match fitness to be playing this many minutes.
And he's got the skills.
He's got
the skills.
His power running game is so good. His defense is really, really cleaned up. He's exactly what this forward pack needs. I don't know why he isn't playing more. He needs to be playing more. Especially when McLean got ruled out of this game. I feel like that would be the perfect excuse to chuck him back in, but no, we need to play Carl Lawton for some reason. I don't get it, man.
I'm so frustrated with this team.
It's so inconsistent.
Look, I love the Cowboys. I'm not loving their efforts.
This is one of the most frustrating seasons I think I've ever had as a Cowboys fan.
Because they have the cattle, it's not much different to last year that came fifth.
Exactly. Like 2023, you can argue was like they rose too quickly. They were ahead of where they were supposed to be. All the off-season rugby World Cup stuff also happened, so everyone was a bit undercooked coming in. I have no issue with that. This season is incredibly frustrating because it feels like the squad has stayed the same, if not gotten slightly better, especially at the beginning when Jackson Purgey was doing his damnedest to be like a great centre.
Was actually there was so much person we're missing at the moment. Sam down the middle with his defense. That's obviously the thing.
There was so much progression happening. And then it all stopped. And if you can point at a certain point in time that's caused all this, that is a bad look.
Yeah.
So
and that's when it happened. And if Todd Payton can't see that, he's not looking.
He might be the least self-aware.
No.
That's exactly the thing. He's going to sleep at night. I call bullshit.
I doubt that.
No way.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Or he's just really stubborn.
Well, we
know that's true.
But yeah, that's all the Cowboys stuff. For the Dogs, they weren't great, but they got the job done. Their defense was still good.
Well, 57 tackles tells you all 60.
Okay, their scramble defense was
good. 62 tackles.
Their defense on their own goal line was quite good. So it's just, they had 70% of the field position in the first half.
Well, the third guy who can kick the ball about 1 million metres.
Though, I'm annoyed with him.
Yeah.
Mash.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
He's a cheat code getting out of jail free.
The best on the field for them. I know we brought up the fact that, he did the high tackle on Braden Burns, but I thought Josh Curran was excellent in this game. I thought he was really good through the middle for them. And that Rena Kama guy, the Jethro Rena Kama is a great rugby league name. I thought he played quite well on debut.
There was one thing, the tackle he did on...
that one, off the ball on...
Derby?
No, it was the centre. The Burns?
Labor?
Oh, Labor. Yes, the one. I don't think it was high.
It looks similar to those ones that like Valda done for and stuff.
The whiplash action.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what it looked like.
it was tight.
It was.
I'm not mad at that
Yeah.
one not being called because I don't know whether it was a penalty or not. It was
Jacob Carraz is
he was quiet, I thought, because he didn't have
apart from that lovely shoulder charge that he decided he wanted to do, which really boiled over a little bit.
Crack whoever's ribs.
Yeah, there's just not much to say about the Dogs here because they weren't great.
No,
They didn't play Lucky Galvin though. Maybe that's why
that's why they won. Yeah.
I liked him being dropped, and then Serraldo saying it was because we needed four forwards on the bench. It was for strategic purposes, so he was dropped. Semantics, Cameron. If he was dropped, just say he was dropped. Okay, have the courage.
Okay, we'll move on. We've had enough ranting on that one.
Lots of ranting. Warriors, Tigers, Mount Smart.
Warriors are winning again, which is nice.
They might be fine. I apologise to Tanner Boyd. I forgot how good you are at this football.
He's very good.
He's only 24. I could have sworn he was like 30.
I don't know.
Not knowing he's going up.
While he's not the same as the boy that got injured,
His kicking game is leagues better than Luke Metcalf's in my opinion.
he's another one of these guys who's got a pretty big kick, right?
He's white Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Well, he basically is, yeah. They're almost the same
One of
player.
the former Titan halfbacks.
Woo. But the Warriors go on their merry way.
I really love watching Tane Tuapiki play because, like, we talk about him in the mold of like the Keanu Keeney and these sorts of things. He's really, really good at it. I really like watching him.
So, one of the things of the Cowboys game, right? Why did we sign Reed Marnie?
Oh yes.
Why?
Well, it's funny if you read the comments by the Bulldogs, they're all pissed off that he's going because they think he was just about the best player on the park for them.
I feel like the Tigers could have used him, to be fair. I think Forrest's not going to be there forever.
Yeah, he's
Anyway, we'll see how he works out, but we won't do that right now.
It was just the usuals, the forward pack, Aaron Clark, Jason Harris. Jackson Ford's been really good.
Yeah.
I really like watching him, and who I am championing as one of the best young forwards right now, Dimitri Vaimaunga. Please let this guy get more minutes because he's so fun to watch. I love watching him play. He's so good. The Warriors completed 82%. They ran 400 more meters, made 7 more line breaks. They
Don't worry.
did what they had to do against a struggling Tigers side. Who, I will say, were not helped in the first half of this match. There were a couple of calls that definitely should have been made that were missed. But that doesn't excuse the second half the Tigers had. They didn't have the enthusiasm.
They were tired. They looked listless in the second half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Adam Dewey didn't. Adam Dewey looks really good. He's playing really well. It was weird. He started the game, I think, at centre, and then towards the back half, they moved him, I think, into a lock role. Quite strange. No, because they still had Luai and Fainu on the field. Yeah, I think he's playing lock. It was quite
Well, he's got the size for it. It's not
enough. Yeah. And his tackling is good enough that he can do a job. He's a ball playing 13.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if they continue to do that. But the entire team was quiet. Like Latu Fainu, I thought he was pretty poor in the red zone. I thought a couple of really
last week's heroics from the Playing Brothers, not so much.
Did they play last week?
The Rifters.
Oh, yeah.
Beat them by 4.
Yeah, 2, that's right. Yes, you're right.
2, sorry.
But in the red zone, he came up with a couple of really bad fifth tackle options. That's just a function of his inexperience. He will get better as time goes on.
And look, it's hard to be negative with the Tigers. They're kind of rebuilding-ish.
Oh, they're definitely rebuilding.
So, Benji, you've got a little bit of leeway with people under pressure.
They're still playing with heart. It's not like they're throwing the towel every week. They're still playing with effort, but they need more time to get everything. Like even Terrell May was quiet in this game.
Yeah, he
Well,
was.
by his standards, anyway, he still ran 140 minutes, made 35 tackles.
I think my tip
That's quiet for this guy.
I think my tip of 9 might be a bit out to be good with
Yeah.
the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know where
I think you put the Bulldogs in 9.
I put the Bulldogs in 9.
I put the Tigers at 11. I don't know
I think
where I like that.
the Tigers
I think, look, the big thing for this was the Warriors keeping their cushion against the Brisbane to hold it top 5. And if they're going to keep playing like this, they'll probably hold on to that spot.
Yeah, which is good for everybody else because stuff Brisbane.
Yes, I do like the Warriors. I do like the Warriors.
Yes, I like the Warriors as well. Eels and Penrith.
Okay.
The lineup shenanigans in the hour before this game were moving. I have to say this because I was driving home from work because I'd finished at 2 o'clock or something, and they had. I was listening to the Triple M call, and they brought out that Gerard Papali'i was named at hooker, and Nathan Cleary was named off the bench. And I was thinking, oh, that's interesting. Cleary, I get because Origin and all that jazz. If they needed, they'll use him. But the jazz thing was weird. And then I watched the game, and he was playing, and Dylan Brown was playing hooker. I don't know what Jason Riles is doing. He's lost his mind.
That was a hot mess. That was the worst coaching effort this week.
He's been the entire season, though. He's like Todd Payton, but worse somehow. His personnel decisions are so strange.
Okay. There is something I want to talk about.
Oh, here we go.
I saw this on X.
Oh, great.
It's the Isaac Tungo double movement tackle thing.
You mean the hip drop?
No, it wasn't a hip drop.
Oh, it wasn't a hip drop too, but
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about that.
Okay, look.
Okay, so the frame I saw, he was down, the ball carrying arm was on the ground, and the Eels guy had his arms wrapped around his foot.
Yes.
That is a completed tackle.
However, I have to disagree with you because if you watch the actual clip, there is in no way that the Eels player is completing that tackle. Like literally in the frame after he's fallen off. He is not affecting a tackle at all. He's just falling off.
the more egregious was the hip drop.
The hip drop was worse, and I think he got done for that.
His arms are still wrapped around his foot, and he still has control of his body, technically.
Once again, you can...
While the ball carrying arm is on the ground.
No, I understand why they went with the decision they went with. And I'm not a Penrith fan, I tipped the Eels because I was hoping for the upset.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Eels generally play well against Penrith, but they didn't this time.
I told you, Mitchell Moses plays well against Penrith.
Yeah.
And Parramatta just coming on for the ride.
Mitchell Moses plays well against most teams.
This is true. But yeah. And bringing Dylan Brown back on for the last 5 minutes, it's just the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
Well, it's because he's going to the Knights, right? I think that's part of the reason.
Yeah, it's not in a good way. And as a result, Para were just flat.
Yeah, they weren't great. Look, I think Simonson, he was quite good.
Strong.
That
Iongi is great.
Oh, he is excellent.
He's such a good player.
He's another one of those.
There's like the
speedy guys. And people like that, right? So,
yeah. Same with Kisione Kaptonga, Jack Williams. They've all been pretty strong this season.
And look,
20 errors is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's worse than the Cowboys.
It's worse than the Cowboys. 20 errors is...
How?
Yeah.
How was that? How?
Yeah. You never know. Scoreline showing.
Penrith did what Penrith had to do. They weren't. Cleary was good when he came on. He did what he had to do. I didn't think he was doing what the commentators were saying he was doing, but he did what he needed to do to get his team over the line comfortably. So
Paul Alaboni, I thought, was great in this game outside his goal kicking. But outside that, he was good. Isaac Tungo before. I thought he had probably his best game of the year.
But he was good.
Yes, he was quiet for a lot of it.
He was the one that didn't do the hip drop. But
other one that's really kicked on the past few weeks is Isaiah Papali'i. He's been really strong for the past month.
He had a line break, didn't he? That he ran like 30 metres and then got tapped. Then passed the ball and they didn't do anything on it.
Because he's old and slow. Penrith, they're going to be full strength coming out of the Origin period. They're going to be primed for a push for the top 4. Will they get there? This is going to be a very, very interesting finals.
Well, this all depends on the Warriors.
It's fully dependent on the Warriors. And Brisbane to a point.
If Warriors keep winning, they're in
But then you're playing for a home elimination final.
Yeah.
It's just as important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Although for Penrith, they play well at home or away generally, so it's not as big
for them. It's going to be really, really interesting. Parramatta,
they're going for the year. Yeah. To start looking at next year.
Exactly.
Another team whose season's a wash. The Gold Coast Titans.
And has been for probably a few weeks now.
This was the best the Titans have looked in a while.
I actually thought they played quite well in this game.
The first half, I thought they did fairly well. And then they just ran out.
Oh, yeah.
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 The Broncos, were fine. I said they weren't anything amazing.
Look, I think most of it was down to clearly hobbled Reece Walsh. He was not at 100% in this game at all. Like, there is no way in hell he was at full strength. It's just, yeah. And they still ended up winning. So that just shows how bad the Titans are right now.
Yeah.
Taylor Jones was probably their best. So that tells you all you need to know. Like, they had less possession, completed worse, 200 less meters, missed 18 more tackles, they conceded 4 more set restarts. Plus, having Lofi Khan Pereira off the bench and never using him.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I don't know what Des was thinking there.
I'm wondering whether his hair's getting too heavy for his head.
Look at that. He's going to be a
Jaden Campbell was really bad at this one.
He's going to be a tall guy like Peyton.
Yeah, I was not listening to you commentate while you're watching the game. Make a tackle, you bonehead, or whatever. It's like
throwing 2 intercepts really annoyed me. 30 fantasy points.
Okay.
That's what this game was pretty nondescript, I thought. What do you want to say?
Good job, Kieran Bourne, and good career.
Oh yeah, him calling time at the end of the season. He's been one of the stalwarts. Like he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss him. For as much as I don't really like him, I'm gonna miss him because he's been there for.
He's one of the last standing, right?
He's been playing rugby league for what?
17 seasons now. Since 2007.
17 times 5. 85. He's been playing rugby league for 85% of my life. Like it's just good on you, Kieran.
Yeah, you've done very well for yourself.
Young guard's leaving. Yeah. We're left with Daly Cherry Evans, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else is one of the old guard. Adam Reynolds.
Reynolds is still there. It's Reynolds and DC, the last of the elder statesmen. It feels weird.
Marty Powell, I suppose, to a point.
Yeah, he's not playing anymore.
No.
I think he got cut because of that. So him liking a post that criticised Michael Maguire. Whoops.
That's stupid.
Yeah. For the Broncos, Tony Staggs was great again. He's put together a really...
He's done very well. Yeah, he's been good. He and Reese had a little bit of a disagreement for something on the field.
Yeah, it was weird. Shibasaki, backing up with Origin, he was just as good. He's so good in defence, isn't he? I love watching him. He's really fun. Xavier Willison keeps being Xavier Willison. He's really, really strong.
Weapon X is good.
Weapon X is his... I think that's the Brisbane fan base's nickname for him, which I really like. Weapon X.
Well, it is cool. Xavier Coach X.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Brisbane are the favourites of the teams that are going to try and make a push into the 4.
They're only 1 game behind.
Probably, in my opinion, the dark horses for the premiership with how they're playing. Have they picked too early?
It's possible. But Maguire generally knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tigers one.
And that's what concerns me about teams like the Roosters, because we know Trent Robinson always manages to get his teams gunning for finals. And with the way they are right now, if they can play to their ceiling, they're going to be a pretty scary team.
They will annoy a lot of teams in the finals.
And we're really going to have a prelim finals of Melbourne, Penrith, Brisbane, and Sydney, aren't we?
Hopefully not.
The Raiders and the Warriors are just going
to... No, look, I think...
No, I
don't think so.
We can't have anything nice.
No, I think...
Raiders Warriors grand final would be the most biggest grand final.
That would feed families. The NRL would be so pissed about it too.
And that would be the best thing for everybody.
Exactly. Well, it's like the fact that Oklahoma City and Indiana ended up in the NBA finals. It's like, 2 small market teams were going to make no money. The exact same thing will happen if it's Raiders Warriors.
Because the Raiders aren't really better off with the refs either. Like, the refs don't really like them.
They have no idea what to do.
They're probably going to trust Warriors.
The Brisbane Cowboys game of 2015. They said, who would have had the most?
Neither of them.
No.
So that's Brisbane. They're trying to make a push. I'm intrigued to see if they can break into the top 4. I'm very interested.
I'm interested as well. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, the 4th to 9th is a bloodbath now. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Because the Roosters in 9, they're still a push for the top 8.
Absolutely.
And look, if the Titans can jag a game somewhere, all of a sudden the wooden spoon race becomes quite interesting as well.
It's going to be us.
I hope not. Absolutely. The Titans should still be the favourites, but they do have a nice matchup this week that we will talk about basically now. Round 20. So we'll talk about the women's
This is round 3, yes.
Round 3 for them. They play the Sharks at Shark Park.
Which is going to be a scary, scary proposition.
So for Cronulla, Anessa Biddle is out suspended, so Grace Lee Weeks is promoted into the run-on side. I'm not sure if they're related at all. I haven't looked. Lily Dick is named on the reserves with Nevada George in her spot, but that's how they were named before the Knights game, and they switched on the day, so we'll see how that goes. This is a big test for the girls here, because if the Knights pack did what the Knights pack
did, same team.
Yeah, everything else is the same. So, if the Knights pack did what they did against the Cowboys, the Sharks pack really concerns me. Ellie Johnston is going to have a blinder here. I am concerned. I do think the Sharks will probably get up here. They're just a little bit too professional for mine.
The North Queenslanders need to find whatever they had against the Titans and pull it out.
Unfortunately, you can't play Titans every week.
No, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Moving
on to the men.
Yeah,
at least they get the Cowboys game out of the way early this week, so there's no anticipation.
Yeah.
They play the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium on Thursday night.
The white people always wins.
Okay, so for the Dolphins, Hammer is back. So he pushes Jake Avarillo to the wing and Tavita Naufahu to the 18th man. With Mark Nichols, HIA, and Quilla Kefri's broken thumb, the forward pack now features Oblix Taufa starting at prop and Connolly Lemuelu starting in the second row. I don't know why I wrote off the bench there.
There are so many Cowboys revenge games in this game.
Harrison Graham and former Cowboy Peter Holler. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. He makes his club debut off the bench for the Dolphins. There's a bunch of irrelevant changes to the Cowboys that aren't going to mean anything.
See, Lemuelu, Hammer, and Holler all are revenge games.
That's true. For the Cowboys, I hope you're all happy with Rob Derby getting dropped, because I'm not. He worked too well as a deterrent for kicks. Now that he's gone, they're going to be going that side off kicks all the time. So I really think he did. Because even if he got the ball, he prevented the opposition from getting the ball. Like immediately anyway. So now Jackson Paulo's on that wing, so that combo with him and Zach Labert's going to be concerning. That's a tap. Jordan McLean's out with a calf injury, so I think he's going to miss 1 or 2 weeks. So Tom McCauley starts and Kevin Love joins the bench.
Nice. I don't mind that, but
I'm fine with that. There's still Jake Clifford, so Purdue is still the 6th, and John Bateman still hasn't come back, so Ruben Cotter is the edge, and Harrison Edwards is the starting lock. I hope you're happy when Jermaine Izako scores 5 tries this week. Have fun. Fins by what? I see no world where the Cowboys win.
The away team always wins. The Cowboys gonna win.
What's the records are made to be broken thing? That. Yeah.
Records are records for a reason.
Yeah. I legitimately can't see a world where the Cowboys win.
Okay, moving on. Sharks and
Not even going to put in a prediction.
No.
Good. I like that. Now we'll maybe get a good game. Sharks Roosters at Shark Park. This will be fun. Dan Atkinson joins the bench for Billy Burns in an otherwise changed Shark side. I think Trent Robinson has lost his mind because you have Sandon Smith, who's been playing in the halves the majority of this season, and instead he recalls the fossilized remains of Chad Townsend to play 5'8".
What? Trent, we speak from experience. He is bad.
I told you he's an idiot. I told you he's an idiot.
You know, like, here we go. They win by 30, and he's a genius.
No, that will not happen. Lindsay Collins starts. Spencer Leniu is back on the bench in the only other change. The Townsend pick alone is the reason I'm picking the Sharks in this game. That's the only reason.
Revenge game.
That is it. Their attack is going to be so bad in this game, they're going to lose by only scoring maybe 12 points maximum.
They've got a lot of other strikes, Tedesco,
Well, they tried to do that. They started with him, and their attack was terrible at the beginning of the year.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens, won't we?
We will see.
Go to the Sharks.
Sharks by a bit.
To the hashtags.
Anyway, I'm surprised you don't hit the Roosters.
I don't mind the Roosters.
Okay. Penrith Rabbitohs at CommBank Stadium on Friday night. Primetime football.
Yeah!
Ready for a public massacre.
Yes.
However, no, I don't think it will be. So the Origin boys who played for Penrith last week are rested this week. So there's no Isaiah Yeo and there's no Nathan Cleary.
Yes.
Liam Martin's still out with, I think, a hand injury.
That's what he picked up in the game.
Yeah. So Brad Schneider starts at 7, and Isaiah Papali'i is the lock. Alan Motti moves to centre. Laurie goes back to the bench to facilitate the return of Brian To'o and Dylan Edwards. The bench is also made up of Matt Eisenhuth and Luron Patea, who joined based on the other two Origin boys being dropped. Scott Sorensen is back from suspension as well, playing in the second row.
We're back for a game.
No idea. For the Rabbits, Cody Walker has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. He played 8 games this year. That's a pretty good microcosm of South this year, I think. Sucks.
Coming to play.
So
Yes.
Tallis Duncan is the one that moves to centre, which I find interesting. He played that against Manly, if I remember correctly, so maybe that works. Jacob Post is still on the edge. Latrell Mitchell is back, so Alex Johnston moves to the wing. Isaiah Task moves to the centres, and Campbell Graham is out with a back injury again.
Ow.
That's been his thing for the whole season. I feel bad for him, man. With the injured, shredded cheese, whatever he is now, I don't know what the penalty going to in front of him. Felipe Havili starts at hooker. Peter Marzellis and Lewis Dodd join the bench. Yeah. Sean Kepi is also on the bench in place of the injured Davy Malali. The Bunnies are far too injured to reasonably have a sniff in this game, but they seem to play well against Penrith for some reason. Penrith will win, but it'll be closer than you expect. Penrith by 4.
Penrith by 40.
I actually don't think so.
This is the definition of a trap game.
Go call McCullum to run 250 metres.
That's a lot.
I
like that.
I hope Souths win this one.
You hate Penrith so much.
I do. Somebody's got to push it out of the race of the top 4.
That's really funny.
But look, in all seriousness, Penrith probably do win, but I would hope the Bunnies at least put up a really good fight.
I just think that the issue that the Bunnies have is that when they don't have Latrell Mitchell, they can't score points. Now they have Latrell Mitchell, maybe they'll score some points. That's my rationale for this being.
And look, Whiten's been a 5'8" for a lot of his career anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal for him. And he's a good defender.
The bench for the South concerns me. Having Marzellis and Dodd was a bit strange. I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Who's that up there?
Humphreys. Humpty. We like Humpty.
Dumpty's out on a wall.
Okay.
Raiders Eagles at GIO Stadium. Great.
Raiders.
Big Papa and Hudson Young are back, so Corey Horsburgh moves to lock. Morgan Smithies and Simi Sasangi both revert to the bench. Trey Mooney and Noah Martin drop off. For the Eels, Dylan Brown has officially been unceremoniously ousted. He is now the 18th man. So Josh Papali'i is the 5'8". Riley Smith is back at hooker. Kitione Kamtonga is side with that Cinders Moses injury from the aforementioned Isaac Tungo hip drop. So Jack Williams moves to the edge, and Jermaine Hopgood starts at prop now for whatever reason. The new face on the bench is Jordan Samrani.
Did Isaac Tungo get any suspension?
I think he copped a week.
Okay.
I don't quite remember actually. I don't know why I didn't write that down. He either got fined or copped a week. Hold on. Give me one singular molecule of a second.
Okay, it's been a molecule of a second.
Shut up. Yeah, he copped a week, okay, because he's not named this week. So yeah. Raiders. Look. The Raiders keep chugging along. They're going to do their thing. This is the first real look we'll have at the future of the Eels. I'm expecting another one of those things where the Raiders let the Eels back into it for no reason. But
No.
The Raiders
The Eels are so bad.
the Raiders win relatively
the Raiders do
comfortably.
against the Tigers.
And the Eels are worse than the Tigers. Like, a lot. Yeah.
I think the Raiders win pretty comfortably. Anyway, the Saints.
This will be
It
interesting.
depends on which Dogs team.
I find this really interesting. Okay, so
Crichton will be back.
for the Dog, yes. Stephen Crichton and Kurt Mann are back. So Inari Tuala shifts to the centres to cover the injured Bronson Sherry. Jethro Rinakama keeps his wing spot. Toby Sexton has officially been dropped for Lockie Galvin.
Good luck, you're going to lose by 40.
Bound to happen at some
Move
point.
that will surely have absolutely no repercussions at all. I think it probably will.
Yeah, no repercussions. Kurt Mann pushes Curtis Morin to the reserves. For the Dragons, Hamish Stewart and Luciano Leilua are both named despite a couple of injury concerns for them. So they're 1-17 for now. I'm interested to see if anything changes come game day. If the Galvin experiment is doomed to fail, we're going to see it in this game. However, I don't think the Dogs will lose. But I don't think they'll win very comfortably either.
Because the Dragons actually have a lot of points in them when they get going.
Exactly.
You know, so if they get on a roll, they might be hard to peg back.
I'm interested to see how this game goes.
Yeah.
So I've picked the Dogs by 6. I don't think that's absurd to think that the Dragons will at least give them a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I hope so.
We will see. It's all on Lockie Galvin now. He's under so much pressure. It might be the most pressure a player has been under in a very long time. I'm very interested to see how this whole thing goes. Storms the Eagles.
That's not how you spelled it, however. You spelled it the Storm and the Seagulls.
Yes, because it's Storm.
Okay.
Yes,
Sure, like the West Coast Eagles.
You like dumb.
Yes, exactly, like the Eagles. So it's the Seagulls.
Anyway,
It's at Amy Park. Ryan Pappenhausen is still out for the 3rd week in a row.
but Meany has been done a pretty good job.
Yes.
That, so.
However, I'm getting a little bit concerned about Pappenhausen now. So, yeah, Meany stays at fullback. Munster and Coates are back. So, Jonah Pezzett and Joe Chan drop off. Green Anderson shifts to centre. Trent Loiera starts to become Kamitha, who's coming off the bench now. This is, for Manly, it's the same team as they had before the bye. They haven't won in Melbourne in 6 years. I'm expecting expecting more of the same.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking here. Be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, at Brookvale, this game's always fun. At Melbourne, it's nowhere near as close.
Not nearly as
So
fun.
Melbourne will win again.
Pretty comfortable.
Yay. Now,
Yeah.
Tugboat fully depends. So, Tigers Titans at Leichhardt. Leichhardt's an important detail, I think, here, because we know how well the Tigers play at Leichhardt. However, Ezra Mann Part 2 has now happened, because Kalen May is back in the NRL. He is playing centre for the Tigers.
Crash.
Domestic violence charges, I think.
Right.
They got dropped eventually, so that's a good thing, I suppose. So, but yeah, this is his first game since round 10 of last year.
Right.
Adam Dewey shifts to lock, so it does seem to be a permanent move for them. Alex Twile moves to prop. Fanua Pole comes off the bench. The injuries to Samuela Fainu has Alex Seyfarth starting. So that's... Yes, he did. Remember, he's the one that...
Are they him and Terrell brothers or something?
Yes, him, Terrell, and Tyrone were all brothers.
Okay.
You know, he was the one that they allowed to serve the suspension after the grand final. That was the biggest mistake they ever made.
That was stupid.
Tino starts after being benched last week, so Jamie Joel reverts back to the bench.
Yeah.
What a barn burner this is. This is going to be great. I'm tipping the Titans just based on fun. Why not? I've given up. Go the Titans. It'll be one of those games that's 36-30.
Yeah.
Titans have a 4-2 record at Leichhardt. That's my justification.
Okay, not many teams have a better record than that.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good luck to the Titans. We still like Queensland.
Come on, the Titans, please. However, if I want my prediction of the loser of Cowboys Titans, the coach view fight in a month, I almost need the Titans to lose, so then Dez is gone, and I nail that. I don't think it'll happen, though. Go the Titans.
Knights and Warriors draw.
Yes.
Knights are going to lose.
So, this is at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Yes. That's
Dan Gagai starts at fullback. Fletcher Hunter's named at the centres. That's how they lined up last week after being named reverse before the game. Dylan Lucas is out with his foot injury, so Brodie Jones starts on the edge and Tyson Gamble is now on the bench. Tyson Frizzell is benched. Phoenix Crossland starts at lock. Jaden Brayley starts at hooker.
What the hell is going on there?
Weird. Adam O'Brien. There you go. Kurt Kankwar is also back in the centres. And Rocco Berry, who dislocated himself.
Yes, it didn't look good on the day.
Newcastle have won their past 4 against the Warriors at McDonald Jones Stadium, including the year that the Warriors made the prelim final. So that's good. This could be very, very close. I think that Newcastle have a legitimate shot to win this game.
Of course they do. Any team on just about.
I mean, obviously, but to be fair, the last time I said this exact thing was the Knights-Dolphins game, which the Knights ended up winning. So, I don't know. Something about this game screams that the Knights are going to pull an upset here.
I don't know. This is the second week now that they're going to have the Warriors are going to have a lovely halfback that's actually had a game under his
Yeah.
belt now too.
I-
So that's
look,
going to be a plus.
I'm fine going either way.
I'm thinking the Warriors. I think Tanner Boyd will have a blinder.
Maybe. I'm expecting more out of James Fisher.
And Fish will go well. Yeah.
The matchup of him and Leo Thompson is going to be a lot of fun. 2 Kiwi internationals. That'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I've written down draw here because I just don't know who to pick. I'm just solely saying that Newcastle have a really good chance of winning this game. So,
Yeah, I mean,
draw. 20 all draw.
I'm going for Warriors. Let's go Warriors.
I think these two drew a couple of years ago, if I remember correctly.
That was the Wild and the Seagulls.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. No,
Yeah.
the year before that, I thought. I thought the year before that. 23, I
The
thought.
Knights are the kings of the close games, by the sound of it.
Yeah, well, that's the
Kings, but they're
That's the
the
thing.
team that seems to get
If
into
this is
it.
going to be a close, hard-fought game, Newcastle will probably win.
Yeah.
If it's going to a shootout, the Warriors will win.
I just think the Warriors have got a bit more class in their team.
Look, that's completely fair, and I have no qualms against people picking the Warriors. I just don't think they're going to win very easily.
No, well, Knights always put up a decent performance. They just don't seem to have the cattle to get wins all the time. It's just one of those things. Well, good luck with your tipping, everybody. I hope it goes better than
Good luck
mine.
with your teams unless you're the Finns.
Unless you're the Dolphins.
Or the Sharks women.
Yes.
What's the female nurse? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
No, Sharks.
That's a bit-
Feeding's right.
It's a female doctor, I guess.
No,
No,
they're
no,
not the
they're
same.
not. They're just a radical doctor, basically. But yes, good luck. If you think we missed anything, if you found a funny moment from this week, let us know.
Yep. Like and subscribe if you would like to do that.
If you like listening to a few idiots chat football and be very sad about how bad the Cowboys are right now.
I'm happy about how good Queensland were. So.
Queenslander! Yes!
And,
We shall see you this time next week.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
goodbye.